Okay, we are live. Bet the Edge. Myself, Jay Croucher, Drew Dinsick at the Drury Hotel in New Orleans on Poydras Street.
Sure.
Yeah. We are watching the NFL honors on a TV at the bar, which is about 10 yards away, watching Jaden Daniels be crowned Offensive Rookie of the Year. Congratulations, Jaden. Correct choice.
I agree. Correct choice.
Yeah.
I mean, honorable mention to Mr. Brian Thomas Jr., who came through with the most receiving yards among the rookies. Honorable mention, honestly, to Blake, to Bowers.
Yes.
Who was pretty phenomenal. But 7-1 home. This made my night. I will come out ahead regardless of how we play it. Thanks to the fact that the bookmakers were very, very confident that Caleb Williams was going to win this award. I still am. I'm trying not to be results based, but I'm a little in shock that preseason Williams was minus 105, minus anything. Considering we really didn't have much to go on that the Bears were going to be good this year. And I honestly what's funny to me about Daniels, and you tell me if you feel differently. My case ended up being wrong. I thought Daniels had a chance to win this award because he was going to be able to compile garbage time stats.
Yes.
And it turned out, well, no, he just runs away with this award because the Commanders were just flat out good.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was the idea, that he was going to put up these video game stats like he did in college, but instead, the team, kind of goes a little bit under the radar, but the team won 12 games. They went 12-5. And I think and we're going to talk about Coach of the Year later on, but if I told you that the Commanders went 12-5, you'd probably say that Dan Quinn is minus, 950 to win Coach of the Year, and he's not going to win tonight. But yeah, Daniels effectively wire to wire. And I think the biggest lesson out of that from a betting perspective is that, Caleb was evens at open.
Minus 105.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
And the lesson out of it is that, we just don't know what these rookie quarterbacks are going to look like. We have our ideas, but once they get on the field, you don't know until that point.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same with quarterback play in a lot of aspects, where even in practice, it's difficult to simulate Micah Parsons coming at you trying to tear your head off. And until you actually get out there on the field in a real regular season game environment, you don't know how good they're going to be. Are they doing Defensive Player of the Year already? So the thing is we're watching this at a little bit of a distance with no volume.
This is happening.
Trey Hendrickson nominee.
This is happening. Defensive Player of the Year already? Yes.
If TJ Watt,
happening. It's all happening, guys.
If TJ Watt wins Defensive Player of the Year, the stream ends immediately. Let me tell you.
Okay, wait a second.
Or Zach Bourne. Zach Bourne, I'd leave the planet.
Zach Bourne does not affect me one way or the other.
It has to be Surtain. Or Garrett, at least. Or Surtain. Patrick Surtain? Patrick Surtain!
Let's go! It's a good win. That's big. It's big. That's big.
Cheers, big. Cheers, Kira in the background. Cheers, Drew Dinsick. Cheers. PS2. We've done it.
I can't believe
I thought it was going to be DROY first up. Oh, wow. It's phenomenal.
Wow. Fire hose of awesomeness out of the gate.
The NFL Awards watchalong comeback story already begins in earnest.
Comeback Player of the Year is Mr. Jay Croucher among the players. Oh,
yes.
Wow.
I want to give a special shout out to the Pittsburgh Steelers corner who committed a holding in Week 18 to negate a TJ Watt strip sack. Absolutely glorious.
That one was big. That specific strip sack that you're mentioning was humongous. But even more than that, TJ Watt had, I want to say, the league high, maybe several year league high of negated strip sacks. I think he had at least 2 against the Falcons Week 1. They could have very well found themselves in a can't-lose situation somewhat early with the TJ Watt Defensive Player of the Year backers. I thought the case against him was very, very obvious once the dust settled. I wrote the no on Watt, and that was my only action in this market, but it was a big number. So I am very happy about this.
There's a lot going on. DPOY early out of nowhere. They flashed Myles Garrett's name up on the graphic as the winner, which is very strange, but it appears
Well, that was last year.
It appears that Patrick Surtain has won Defensive Player of the Year. I think Watt was all season. I think he was like a warranted favorite for a lot of it, but by the end, he was extremely vulnerable. Even with like 2 weeks to go, TJ Watt was like minus 250 in the market. It's like,
did not make sense.
Who is saying like that he is?
It did not make sense.
This happens with a lot of awards where a guy has a lot of pedigree. He becomes entrenched as the mid-season favorite because no one else has a good case.
Yep.
And no one gains ground on him, and the market just kind of keeps him as the favorite because no one is gaining ground. But it's like, no, his case is so mediocre that if anyone just kind of gets to like an 80th percentile outcome, then they win the award. And that's Surtain. Like Surtain had in the biggest game of the season for Surtain, which was against the Bengals in the penultimate week. Yeah, they lost the game in overtime, but he locked up Chase, kept him to like 3 for 27 when they were matched up, and he got the fumble on T. Higgins, and that kind of made it okay to vote for PS2. And I'm very happy that he's won.
You know, so here's my general recollection of this market. You ready? It was Watts by default.
Yep.
Until the Steelers lost to the Browns on the road in the snow.
Yes, and Garrett
literally was
put him in a clown suit.
Put him in a clown suit and put the crown on. It was like, no, I am still the best edge rusher in the sport. Period. End of story. You've just seen it, right? Like in that moment, I woke up the next morning and I was like, Watt's not winning this award.
Yeah.
Not after that.
Yep.
Right. Like this is over. And it opened my mind to the other possibilities that were available. We talked about it. You made a very strong case for Garrett and also for Surtain. And I like hat tip to the voters here for acknowledging a corner. I feel like we need to take a very valuable lesson from this, which is when it is a weak year, to just be more prepared for the fact that the block is going to be like, well, it's a weak year, therefore we're giving it to a corner. Because Trey Hendrickson was never really a candidate. You agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, the issue with Trey Hendrickson is like, it's just very hard to run your race in the final week. And he had no case whatsoever until the second last day of the season. And then even then, like, it was diluted because the next day, like 18 hours after he built his case, it just kind of got completely like needle in the balloon deflated because Surtain knocked him out of the playoffs. And I think, the big thing with Surtain and the kind of takeaway I'd have from that market is that like the voters are human beings.
Yeah.
And they don't just vote based on being like super tied to precedent or some like fatalistic element. Like voters are human beings who have to like write a name down. And I believe the AP still makes you write names down on a piece of paper and then like fax it in or something. But
you gotta know how to use a fax machine.
Yeah, you
need
to
be a voter.
Yeah, that's lesson number 2 out of Surtain DPOY. Lesson number 1 would be
you have to be old. Yeah,
you got to be old, but you need to feel good about like the name that you're writing down.
Right.
And all of these guys, it's like Hendrickson, the defense was bad. Garrett, the team won 3 games. TJ Watt did nothing the final month of the season and also had like the 5th best season of his career. Zach Bourne didn't really know who he played for until week 4 of the season. So
Zach Bourne? He's in the Super Bowl.
Exactly. So I think Surtain was like in DPOY, in the NFL and the NBA, like pedigree is such a massive element of that award. And Surtain, like even coming into the season, like everyone thought Patrick Surtain was the best corner in the NFL.
Yes.
He kind of entrenched himself early as kind of like a fringy candidate when he had the 99-yard pick 6 against the Raiders in week 4, and he had the other pick against the Raiders. And they had the top 2 defense for most of the season when they really got going. So Surtain just kind of was the guy everyone felt best about, and he actually won in an absolute landslide. Like I thought Garrett was going to get
I'm blown
closer.
away by this. The actual runaway nature surprises me, but it makes me think that the award paradigm has shifted a little bit, and I need your take for next year. This is maybe no longer just the best defensive player in the sport. This is the best defensive player on a defense that has gotten their team to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think in a way, like someone like Surtain could never win if the Broncos missed the playoffs.
No
I
way,
think.
right? No chance. Zero chance.
But I mean, the thing is, like, Satan got 26 out of 50 first-place votes. Hendrickson was second with 11. Garrett only got 5 first-place votes, which is stunning to me, given that, like,
shocking.
of, like, the 7 or 10 or whatever first-place votes that were publicly revealed, Garrett got 2 of them and then did nothing with other voters, apparently. But I think, like, Satan, he got 26 out of 50, but if you combine the edge rusher vote, that's still, like, 20 votes. It's just that it was so fragmented this year. And, like, none of these guys had good cases. Like, they just didn't.
No, that's right.
And ultimately,
how about the fact that TJ Watt actually got 3? That's the most surprising to me. I would like to have a face-to-face and a heart-to-heart with the 3 men or women that did vote TJ Watt as the defensive player.
I'd like to have a face-to-face.
I didn't see it. I didn't even come close to seeing it.
Yeah, well, I'd like to have a face-to-face with the people who voted Lamar Jackson first team All-Pro and Josh Allen MVP. We'll get into that. So, by the way,
do you think that's?
I think it's very much in play, and we'll see. But to give everyone a heads up, what we're going to do is we're going to stick with the show through Comeback Player of the Year, which I think is the 4th award. And then for anyone who doesn't have access to the rundown of the NFL honors, and probably most of you, there is like a significant gap from where predicting like 8:35 to 9:30, where there's going to be like 1 award. I think it's DROY. And then the last 2 awards, not to spoil it for Fox, but the last 2 awards are Coach of the Year and MVP. And then, so we're going to stand down in that kind of big interregnum and then come back for Coach of the Year. And then, as I tweeted out, if Dan Campbell wins Coach of the Year, you can watch a grown man cry on a live stream on YouTube and tell your friends about it. But hopefully there will be no tears and order is restored. I'm actually on Fantasy Football Happy Hour, which you can check out wherever you get your podcasts, and on the NFL and NBC Sports YouTube channel. I'll be interviewing Kevin O'Connell tomorrow morning, win, lose, or draw tonight.
What went wrong, Mr. O'Connell?
Yeah.
Where did it all go
And if
wrong?
that is a loss, I'm going to give that man a hug. And it's not going to be for him. It's going to be for me. But hopefully there is no hugging. And if there is, it is purely out of joy. And he gets the award done, which I think he will, and do it fairly comfortably. But we'll see. But anyway, so we're going to stay here through through Comeback Player of the Year. And then we will take a little break. But it's difficult to watch the show with no audio. They're doing Offensive Player of the Year, which is going to be like,
and I didn't need to hear the audio of that Snoop and who was he with? Was that Teddy Swims? No, I don't think it was. It was some sort of it's gone now, but the Snoop segment didn't land for me.
It wasn't Shabuzi.
It wasn't Shabuzi. It was a lost attempt to be funny, from what I could tell. There were certainly a lot of tattoos, but whatever the case was, it was a swing and a miss by the writers for trying to fill in the blanks here. Are you sure? I guess, can I twist your arm to stay live for the middle portion where we get to finally find out if I win my bet on Fan of the Year?
Fan of the Year.
Yeah.
Is Fan of the Year me for my vociferous propaganda?
You were
Satan,
not one of the finalists.
I wasn't one of the finalists. I didn't make it. No. Lifelong Denver Broncos fan as of 10 minutes ago.
I got to ask you 2 important questions or maybe we'll just wait and reflect on.
I'd say Saquon Barkley being named Offensive Player of the Year. Yes. I've got volume.
That's Barry Sanders right there.
Did he whisper it? Saquon Barkley?
Did he whisper it?
Saquon.
I think he whispered it.
Congratulations, Saquon.
Yes. Joe Burrow.
Break for Joe Burrow, who was not wearing
a shirt. What? Joe Burrow's stylist electing not to put him in no shirt is a little bit.
Does that make you think he's not winning Comeback Player of the Year?
I would have guessed if he was winning an award, he would be wearing a shirt, but what do I know?
So, Saquon Offensive Player of the Year, there's not much to say. If you run for 2K yards on a team that wins 14 games and you Saquon Barkley, then you're just going to win this award. Yeah. There's interesting kind of discussions to be had about the value of a running back versus a wide receiver, such as Jamar Chase. But I don't think anyone can really begrudge Saquon winning this award, which has effectively become a skill position player award.
Yes.
Not a quarterback award.
The paradigm for offensive player of the year is now fantasy football MVP.
Yes.
And that was very clearly Barkley.
Just Saquon.
Yes. I got to imagine that was pretty close to unanimous. Am I right?
Yeah, I would imagine so. We'll get to see the vote now, I guess. I checked my feed. Well, so Lamar Jackson got 12 votes.
Excuse me?
Wow. Saquon 35, Lamar 12, Henry 1, Allen 1, Burrow 1. That might not bode great for
that
Lamar MVP.
is kind of spooky. I will be honest with you.
That's kind of like, I think Jalen Hurts got a similar amount of, I think he got some votes for OPOY the year he lost to Mahomes.
I do not love that, Jay.
You're
Lamar being number 2?
Yeah.
I don't love that.
Well, in theory, it would be Allen's clearly going to get at least 12 MVP votes, so maybe those people put Lamar for OPOY.
And they were always going to be Josh.
I would prepare for us to get I think Josh Allen might.
12? Josh Allen didn't get a single offensive player of the year vote, but Lamar got 12? Why?
Josh Allen got 1. He got 1.
You got
Joe
1?
Burrow got 1. Chuck Robinson in the crowd, who I identified.
He was on set today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking great.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson. What is he doing?
Oh, you know what I would support? I support Justin Jefferson's stylist going no shirt. I don't support Joe Burrow's stylist going no shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Justin Jefferson, by the way, who we interviewed on the show yesterday, one of the best just kind of figures that you can speak to. Just super high energy, super nice.
Do you think that it makes any sense in the world that Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen get OPOY votes and Justin Jefferson got none?
No. Joe Flacco won comeback player of the year last year for being watching Netflix. Like, I'm not sure these voters. I guess some of them included.
Do we know why Justin Jefferson is doing shtick?
I like it. I'm all for it. I'm buying all the JJ.
I guess if you can do it,
buying all the JJ character stock after seeing him yesterday on the set.
If you can do it, you do it, right?
Looks like we have a funny comment on Drew Dinsick's hair, which I'm excited to see. I learned today that Drew only grew out his hair during the pandemic.
This is true.
And let it, and let it simmer.
Let it ride. I've only gotten it cut twice since COVID-19 was a thing.
There you go. I'm all for it. I believe comeback player, man, Dinsick's hair is handsome. Never heard hair described as handsome. Usually it's person or face even, but I'm all for it.
I gotta
it's a good set of looks. It's kind of definitive.
I know, like, as far as doing shtick, and Belichick brought all of his rings because if you got them, bring them, right? But as far as shtick goes, I forgot to bring my shampoo, Jay.
Oh, really?
It's been a rough. It has been a very difficult week. It's been a very difficult week. I've had a tough time handling the humidity.
Yeah, I can tell.
It hasn't been great.
Looks like my 2-year-old Rio's hair. Kind of curly.
I've had multiple shoots and moments where I met people and I was like, I cannot believe that my hair is this flat or this frizzy. And it's been a tough week for me because I left my miracle shampoo at home.
Yeah, you're kind of taking your cue from our man Aaron Schatz, who came on the show.
Yes, kind of. Yes.
Back to the Future type of element.
Oh yeah, he was a very mad scientist.
Yeah. Ties into the genius. You cannot create DPOY if you use shampoo in your hair. There's no way you can do it.
Can't be done.
Massive anti-correlation between shampoo and DPOY.
Okay. So we kind of teased
comeback player of the year. Wow. So I think Joe Burrow is going to win. Kind of accepted my fate. But God, it would be glorious if Sam Darnold came from the clouds. Oh, my man Damar Hamlin, who we may be interviewing tomorrow. Sure. Joe Burrow, coming back from the old boo-boo on his wrist.
Well, yeah.
Can we talk about Darnold?
I think we can talk about this before we know.
Sure, if you want.
When does comeback
If
this is now.
I mean, honestly, if they give this to Burrow, just end this award. End it.
I think Burrow is a much more defensible choice than Joe Flacco.
I guess.
But
I mean, This is a very, very uninspiring award at this point because of the way it's gone. It's gone sideways in terms of how people want to vote for it. And
right, it is. I'm going to price it Burrow 85%, Donald 15% in real time.
I would have said 60-40.
Joe Burrow. Yeah, it's expected. He gets to go up there with his lack of a shirt.
That was bullshit.
Interested to see the vote count here.
I mean, like the degree to which Joe Burrow is leaning into the Macaulay Culkin vibe is confusing me, if we're being honest.
He does look Macaulay Culkin.
Like he's leaning a little too hard into the Macaulay Culkin vibe.
That was really
But
that was bullshit.
Yes, Joe Burrow, please tell us about how coming back from your wrist injury and being the third choice for MVP this year, how did you overcome adversity to be the fifth choice for MVP this year, Joe?
He's trying to pull up a little.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been my choice. I don't really understand the comeback, but Joe Flacco made me deeply angry at the world, mainly because of the financial loss, but also just it was an absolute disgrace that people voted for him. Burrow is annoying, but also defensible, I think, in a way. But I mean, the reality is the guy was fourth favorite for MVP coming into the season, said that he had the best training camp, healthiest training camp of his life, and then kind of played, probably slightly above expectations of a team that missed the playoffs. But I really want to see the vote count because
I will tell you what, while we're waiting for the vote count, I will tell you this. The Cloak and Dagger community in the betting space for the NFL, which I'm a very active member of.
Sure.
There was a lot of Burrow is still hurt.
Yep.
To start the season.
Sure.
There was a lot of like the Bengals are done. This could have been more career altering than people realize. There was a lot of whispers and speculation about this going potentially very sideways. So in that respect, like if you kind of look at it through that lens, what he accomplished with the Triple Crown this year was pretty freaking phenomenal. I will ultimately win money because of what Joe Burrow did this year because he had the most passing yards, which I bet at 8-1 or 850, something in that ballpark. So I'm proud of him for doing what he did.
I'm not proud of Joe.
But comeback player of the year feels a little bit. It feels like we're under. We're shooting low here. Like,
so here's the thing: it's like the award. It's kind of one of these things like Sixth Man of the Year a couple of years ago, where I feel like if I could have given a PowerPoint presentation to all the voters about why Emmanuel Quickly is Sixth Man of the Year of Malcolm Brogdon, I feel like I would have swayed like maybe not all the votes, but like a good handful of votes. With this one, I don't think I could have swayed voters to Sam Darnold, but I do think that if someone just sat down and thought about it, but if someone sat down and actually thought about it, they would understand more why J.K. Dobbins should have won this award.
Of course.
It's like, that is who the award should go to. And the fact that Tim Patrick didn't even finish in the top 5 kind of speaks to the fact that, look, and you can't really like extrapolate because this is the first year of these new guidelines. And next year there's going to be like a most improved player award. So it's kind of all for naught in terms of lessons
learned. Oh, really?
Learned.
They're actually going to do that?
Yes. Next year they're going to do that. I'm told.
Now I feel like a freaking idiot because I've been telling people that they just need to change it.
I want to go back to the old way. I want all people always complain about.
Are they changing it or are they splitting it?
They're splitting it.
Okay.
That actually I don't know. That makes sense. But I know there will be.
That checks out because like honestly, people are just confused.
Yeah, but so people always they talk about like I want more clarity on this or how can you bet on something that's so subjective? It's like no, that is what creates value because it creates uncertainty. It creates kind of illiquidity in terms of, and it's just very difficult to price. And when something is difficult to price, it's easier to beat if you can do a better job than the book of pricing. And so I want all the uncertainty. I don't want any guidelines. I don't want any polling. I don't want any Tom Pelissero polls. I don't want the Bontam straw poll. I want none of that stuff. Like, I want to live in the dark so I can just trust myself to price it better than the random trader pricing it, who everyone then copies.
No, you want the market to be stupid, and then you have access to the 50
but
people
then
who
like, when there are like polls that come out, or even when there's like guidelines that come out, it like gives people like a cheat sheet.
Yes.
Which is like, no, I want everyone in the dark, and then hopefully I'm better at other people than doing it. But I think the lesson, if this does sustain, this award being considered in this way, the lesson is that you have to be injured, and it's not an award for like distance of adversity traveled. It's an award of you technically meet the criteria, and then you just get judged on your performance. And Joe Burrow's performance was better than everyone else. Okay. But all
right, I want to pivot things a little bit. And I want to get your take on a couple of thoughts I've had.
Sure.
The Defensive Player of the Year award voting has kind of shattered my confidence in Lamar. I feel like
I haven't shattered for other reasons on Lamar.
And it is the Offensive Player of the Year similarly, but mostly the Defensive Player of the Year, because I feel like the idea of the Defensive Player of the Year is where I want to key on. When you looked at the All-Pro vote for the defensive first team, and you saw that Myles Garrett was pretty unanimously agreed upon as a first team All-Pro. To me, that was like, ooh, this could be close.
Yeah, I thought Garrett was like 5 to 10% to win the award, and he wasn't even close.
Surtain was more unanimous, and he had the team success to wind in his sails. But the way the vote ended up going down makes me think that there is a huge premium on team success I feel like there maybe like these voters put themselves in the mindset. I say these voters, like I just mean the block writ large. Put themselves in the mindset of individual performance divorced from team success when they go all pro. And then when they come back to the superlative awards, they upweight team success, in which has me nervous because, of course, the Bills finished with the 2 seed.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to get into the mind of various different, frankly, like if you voted Lamar first team and Allen MVP, it's not even Lamar only. If you voted Allen first team and Lamar MVP, it's just moronic. Like, it's just completely moronic. And regardless of the outcome, like, the people who've done that, you got to live with it. Who cares? Like, no one cares. No one cares. Everyone will move on. But it's just the completely stupid, and it's just a stupid thing to do. But I do think the one thing that is misleading a little bit with Garrett getting 45 first-team All-Pro votes, and this dawned on me a little bit more when I actually kind of looked through some of the ballots that were published, is that you can be first-team All-Pro edge rusher, but still be the second-choice edge rusher for people, right? Because there's 2 first-team guys.
Yes, that's true.
Hendrickson, from memory, got I want to say 36, 35 first-team votes, and Garrett got 45, and Hendrickson doubled him up and more in the actual DPOY vote. So I just think that ultimately, I'm not sure how instructive it is around team success, but it does show that there is a little bit of difference. Cool. And we have a special guest, Trista Crick, come to join us. Cheers, Trista.
Drink in hand.
Hope you're a Pats the Tan fan. If you're not, you can go back to wherever you were. How's your evening going? You're speaking to maybe.
Evening's great.
Can you pull it off, maybe, Drew?
Yeah, we can do a little. How about we just do a little back and forth like that? Evening's great. Just went to an event with Patrick Peterson at this amazing golf brand clothing company called Grayson.
Patrick Peterson name drop.
Patrick Peterson.
Unbelievable.
And
we all know about Grayson.
Like a all the real ones know Grayson, and Bettinardi, which was like a little collaboration. Okay. So I actually they had 50 ball markers. It's super nerdy. 50 ball markers made for the Super Bowl, and I got one. So it's amazing.
Unbelievable.
But it's not as valuable as cashing a Joe Burrow comeback player of the year ticket.
No one did that. No one did that. Yeah.
None of us had Joe Burrow.
rattled by that story. I didn't know where it was going. You threw me immediately with the Patrick Peterson name drop.
How
what I
is
will say.
Patrick?
Amazing.
We haven't seen him in quite a while.
His skin still looks fabulous.
Okay.
I think he's going.
Of course.
How is he guarding the ball?
I don't think he's doing anything football wise.
Okay.
He's doing just as much as Larry Fitzgerald. He looks like he's gained a few lbs. I
Okay.
saw him at the event as well. No
That's
shade
fine.
to
He's
Larry
a legend.
Fitzgerald. He looks great
Yeah.
for not
Okay.
playing. But yeah, it's been good. Had
Okay.
some dinner
Yeah.
I love it.
at Coachone. Have you guys been to this place?
No.
Coachone. I was there yesterday. Tom Brady had the buyout there last
Did
night.
he?
Yes, he did. I was not invited to the Tom Brady buyout.
Oh, speaking
Kendrick
of,
Lamar had the night before. Tom Brady
Wow,
was
really?
last night, and yes.
Drew and I just got kicked out of a bar because Lady Gaga had to come in.
Yes.
Well, I ate.
The way it goes.
This is kind of like great for New Orleans because it's not always the case in every city. So I went to this place called Le Petit Grocery,
Okay.
and
yeah,
yeah,
of
awesome
course,
in the Garden District.
Yes.
And I had brunch there, lunch there, and Nick Sirianni wanted to rent out tonight for the Eagles for dinner. And an energy company came in, paid more money, and they said, "F you, Nick Sirianni."
Wow.
What are you here? What are you even here for?
What's
this
your
is Super Bowl week. Why are you here?
what do you stand on Nick Sirianni as a public figure?
Oh, that's such a tough one. I think he's a meme. I think he's a meme as a public
I couldn't
figure.
have been higher on Nick Sirianni when the previous Super Bowl in Glendale, when they showed him crying in the national anthem. And that was when, back then, he was like, Coach of the Year finalist, took the Eagles from 9-8 to 13-4 or 14-3 or whatever.
Yeah.
He was like super aggressive on fourth down, had this super modern offense. He empowered Steiger. And then he yelled. And then he yelled.
To one, I think
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
Well, then all of his coordinators went, and then we saw what
know
he. Yeah.
The thing is, though, Trista, is that it's because he screamed at the Chiefs fans
You
at
think that's-
Arrowhead, and that's when it all started to fall apart.
Yeah.
Screamed at the
The wheels
fans.
fell off.
You
and-
cannot smite
wheels
Chiefs
came
fans. It's like there's voodoo in Chiefsdom.
Yes, that was.
Or just more like it's unbecoming of a long-term coach in the league.
But
to have
doesn't it
that
feel
kind of
like a Philly thing?
Actually, yeah.
Do
actually
people
does, yeah.
like him
But
in Philly?
No, I feel
No.
like he is.
Do people
well,
like Jalen Hurts in Philly?
No.
It feels
Very
like this is the
confusing.
lowest
It's very
vibes team of all time that is completely saved by Saquon because everyone loves Saquon.
Saquon's the most likable
Yeah.
thing in Philly. It's kind of like what we got with Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame,
Sure.
and
Yes.
maybe to a degree with Ryan Day and Ohio State.
Yeah.
I would say Howie Roseman has a 100% approval rate.
Oh yeah, I mean his drafting
well, I
has
mean.
been incredible.
Yeah. There's other, like Quinion Mitchell, super fun, and the defense,
Cooper
like Zach
DeJean.
Bourne is a great story. AJ Brown, not like whatever.
He's a
Like,
he's a messy character.
There's a lot just
Yeah.
going on. Just very bad vibes. Like if you just kind of
No,
checked
vibes
in on the
are
press
immaculate.
conferences.
The vibes are back.
Well, the people have gotten behind the
I
team
love
now
them.
that
I
they're
love
in the
them.
Super Bowl and it's Saquon.
What do they
and-
say? Winning solves all problems, right?
winning
Cures
solves all
all
problems.
wounds.
Yes. Before we jump off, Trista, what do you think of New Orleans as a Super Bowl city,
I love it.
and where does it kind of stack up to recent Super Bowl cities?
I think what makes an amazing Super Bowl city is it to be accessible, like a
Sure.
small kind of
Perfect.
enclosed city. Santa Clara next year is going to be a disaster. Just it's like San Francisco, right? I don't think that's going because Santa Clara is so far away.
Suburb in Hawaii.
Suburb of I think Oahu. Las Vegas was electric, great because it was so
Yes.
walkable.
Yeah.
All the restaurants, you really feel the vibe of the
Yeah.
athletes and the fans
Yeah.
together, and the local fare.
Yeah.
I think it's a top Super Bowl city,
Yeah.
top 3 for me.
I think, so I've been to 4 Super Bowls now. So New Orleans, Vegas, LA, and Phoenix. I think New Orleans is number 1 because it is the perfect mix of everything is like relatively close.
Yes.
Everything's
but
walkable.
it's good weather. The convention center is massive, which is a big win in terms of Radio Row for interviewing people. There's a cultural aspect with the jazz. It's a very unique city. Like there's nowhere else like it in America. Las Vegas is good because it's like built for events, but also like a completely soulless place. Which
Yeah.
kind of is the. Also,
This is like Vegas with soul and
there's also
Creole.
no grass and trees. in
You're
Las
debating
Vegas.
people with soul last year.
Yeah.
Come on.
They were.
It kind of is what it is. And then I would have LA third because it's still Los Angeles. There are cool elements. It's
But
just way
very
too spread out.
like very spread out. Yeah,
Which
the
is why
sprawl
LA
is
Well,
tough.
you just have to know. You just have to know where to go.
Yeah.
You
Stay in your little
Are you
pocket.
sweating anything tonight?
Not tonight. No awards.
You don't care about who the MVP is?
No.
Do you have any inclination that it might go against us? We are Lamar Jackson people.
I think
Ooh, I mean, it's possible.
You have you are.
I'm a little inclined into the Josh
who would you
Allen.
vote for?
Who would?
Yeah.
I would have voted for Lamar.
Okay. I think
But
I
you
would
think
have as
there's
well.
a wind in the air?
Yeah, I think there's a win in there just because you talk about the narrative around.
This is like the fourth Josh Allen skill, which is also not making me feel great.
And
I've
Snoop.
seen Josh
Ooh,
Allen
it's rough.
play a lot tonight.
Where is Lamar Jackson? I haven't
Snoop.
seen him yet. Is he in Baltimore?
Is he here?
Is he holidaying in Bruges in Belgium?
I haven't seen him on Radio Row once.
I do not love this.
I think Josh Allen's going to win.
But I think it's just the Derrick Henry versus losing Stephon Diggs.
You've given up?
No, I haven't given up. I would just make Allen the favorite with all the kind of surrounding context. But yeah,
Just me,
we'll
just
see.
like me
I
chiming
don't think
in.
it's done. I have much more confidence in Lamar than I did Sam Darnold.
I
Who got
thought
absolutely
I
trucked
thought
in
you
the
were
real vote.
going to be the one that was holding me up, man.
No.
You've lost faith.
I have. I haven't abandoned ship entirely.
Like, where are you at? 20%, 80%?
75, 25.
Okay.
Allen.
What? Are you
Yeah.
serious?
There's a lot of surrounding context that is pointing towards Josh Allen. But
Like
we'll
you're
see.
showing him on TV
A
that many times?
25% chance happens 25% of the time. So it's a 1 in 4 type of operation. So I wouldn't be shocked at all. But yeah, and I think that is the award that is left that has the most doubt. I think Kevin O'Connell, famous last words, given I have a lot of Kevin O'Connell and no one else of relevance. But I would say Kevin O'Connell.
I sure
is
hope Kevin O'Connell wins. It'd be a real shame if there was a big old Dan Campbell surprise. It'd be a real
There's a Dan
shame,
Campbell
Jay.
there. Yeah. No, I would say O'Connell's like
Damn.
96%. So
Oh
put that out in the air. I
God.
look forward to Dan Campbell's winning. But
Oh my God! I didn't know you had waffled to that degree. 75? Did you bet any?
no.
You
No.
didn't hedge at all? Yeah, you
No,
did.
not like
No?
recently at all. I've Allen tied up in various parlays
So
towards the end of the
literally,
season.
like the die was cast for you when the market closed, and the poly market stuff has convinced you that it was leaked and this is a done deal.
No, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen on
That's
that front.
the-
All I
that-
just know is that
He's
it's like
we're
he's-
missing something. It's like the Luka trade where
Someone
you know
told
something.
Jay
Yeah,
that
somebody's
this
told
year
him.
the award winners, and he knows.
Well, I think Josh is going to do it.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Now we're
fact
at
that
90-10.
the fact that they're featuring him this much to this point in the broadcast does not feel good. Does not.
How many times have you guys seen Lamar on screen tonight?
I'm not sure he's in. Is he in?
What
the
was weird
state
was
of Louisiana?
especially considering he was the number 2 first place vote getter for offensive player of the year. Did they even show a clip of him? I didn't
believe
see
so.
it.
No, I believe Lamar is in Bruges.
Oh, no.
With
Bad things
Oh,
happen
Colin
in Bruges.
Farrell and Martin McDonough.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on that front. But yeah, I'd be bracing for
There was a time not that long ago where I thought this was 90-10, and I feel like now it's 10-90. The way you're acting,
After the All Pro votes came out, I think I was telling people like 92-8 or something, and then I mathed out, or had a friend math out for me, like the percentage chance of Lamar. Oh, sorry, the amount of votes Allen would have to flip, and it's basically like 8 All Pro votes that he has to flip to be guaranteed a victory, and 7 might be enough. But I kind of think he might.
As long as we're on this topic, I got to ask you. My assumption is that all 50 voters have some order of Josh and Lamar 1-2, and there's only 50. So the idea of a 25-25 split is very, very in the cards, considering how close this is.
Yes.
Okay. If this is 25-25 first and second,
Yep.
how does it get graded in your opinion?
In terms of, well, the thing is like, how does like, are
If
they
we
going to
have
be?
a Steve McNair,
Oh, sorry.
we
In
have a-
terms of, well, it just goes.
if we have a Steve McNair,
Well,
Peyton Manning-
Polymarket gets settled on alphabetical order.
No, it does not.
Yeah, no, it does.
No.
It literally does.
No.
No.
Literally does.
No.
So
fine.
just be
What?
Josh Allen being A
Yeah.
versus
What?
J.
That's not the actual like the MVP award. That's how it gets settled at one place that offers gambling outcomes. As to how it settles if it's dead even on first
It's
place vote,
25-25,
I
first
don't
and
know.
second.
yeah.
Every single
Let's just pay them both out for the love of God. Why couldn't we have done that for Stefanski D'Amico last year, which absolutely killed me? That there is a fake first place vote tiebreaker that no one knew about, and I don't believe was public anywhere. It was very painful, but Yeah, I don't know how it works. They should just give it to both of them. What's wrong with co-MVPs?
I've lived through that. Steve McNair, Peyton Manning happened in my lifetime.
Yeah, true.
Jelly roll. That was escaping me. I knew it was jelly.
Okay, we're going to wrap up for now. Trista, thanks so much for joining. Is there anything you want to plug, promote?
Heat Check podcast, wherever you get your podcast. NBA trade deadline just hit.
Oh my God.
So find me wherever you. Oh my God, we got the Running Man. That's
Jameis.
NBA. So many, so many things to talk about. Find me Apple, Spotify, Instagram under Trista_Crick, TikTok, and Threads.
Okay. Drew Dinsick and I are going to find some liquid courage before the Coach of the Year announcement and the MVP announcement. We will come back when Coach of the Year is about to be announced. Until then, good luck getting through the next hour and a bit.